would life be about living or would it be about dying? And I hit a point in the piece where I decided it was about living. It's the brass fanfare that occurs about 2/3 of the way through. So Blue Cathedral, I think, for me, is probably one of the most seminal pieces in my trajectory as a composer. I was only a couple of years out of grad school, actually, when I got the commission. And I started the piece about a year after I lost a younger brother to cancer. So I was still pretty heavily into the grieving process. And I remember thinking, because it was supposed to be a celebratory piece, that I should write something that was fanfarish. But that was not at all what I was feeling on my insides and my heart. And so I kind of gave in to the sensation of that I wanted something that was more like a tone poem. My brother's middle name is Blue, and so I started with the premise of blue, and so I immediately thought of the sky. I love looking up at the sky, at the stars and the birds and moon, and so I thought to myself, what if there was a cathedral in the sky, a crystal cathedral? I thought, well, this could be like a musical journey going into the cathedral, and I put a lot of personal things in this piece. The flute, because I was a flute player. Clarinet, my brother played clarinet, and I have the flute come in first because I was the older sibling, and then the clarinet comes in. And when you get to the end, the duet of these two instruments come back at the end, but the flute cuts out and my brother's journey continues on and closes out the piece. It's amazing. It's played so much that it actually has kind of outpaced all the other works that have been written in this century, which is, for me, deeply moving. I never would have imagined it when I wrote the work. But I also just I get emails and letters from people who've been in the audience. They have some sort of connection, and sometimes they don't even know what the program note is behind it, but it touches something in them, and that tells me something about music. He's a genius. Okay, so he's gonna be embarrassed by this, but his arrangement is incredible. It's just stunning when I hear it, when I look at the score, what he came up with the colors. It does make it its own piece. It's different than the orchestra piece, but it still has that same heart there. And the instruments are allowed to soar and sing, and it's kind of incredible how many lines are going. It's really one of those peak experiences that you remember in your life. And you know, for a composer, you spend so much time alone in a room, it's good to have those kinds of memories to hang on to. So for those moments where you're doubting, but it's really a dream. It's just absolutely a dream. And you know, I think back when I was in high school, I came to Washington, D.C. with my family, and the Marine Band was playing out on the steps of the Capitol. And I still was blown away. At that point, I was thinking, good grief, listen to the power in this organization, the sound coming out from the band. So I never could have ever imagined that as an adult I would get to work with this band. And it's like a dream come true. It actually exceeds my dreams, to be quite honest. But I'm thrilled also because we have such a good recording of the piece now, and that goes out into the world, and it gives the piece a chance to live and breathe amongst the band world, which is an important group for me.